This is a demonstration of a variety of breaths for cooling, calming, and grounding. So start seated, remembering that for breath work, if you would prefer to sit in a chair, if you're more comfortable, you don't have to sit on the floor. I have my legs crossed, and I'm using a blanket at the base of my buttocks just to make sure that my spine is nice and long, which is a good thing to have for any breathing practice. You can also sit in hero's pose, any pose where you feel super comfortable and can find a nice long spine. Settle into your pose and just feel your sits bones underneath you. That's your base, your foundation, your anchor. And we're going to start with box breath. It's also sometimes called square breath. Those are easy ways to remember it because it's 4, 4, 4, 4. In Sanskrit, it's Samavriti breath, and it's a nice breath to start with because it's super simple and it's very calming and grounding. Basically what it involves is inhaling to the count of 4, and you can imagine the inhale either going through your nose and traversing itself through your torso and then coming back out your nose, or you can imagine yourself growing as you inhale to the count of 4, holding at the top to the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 4, and then holding at the bottom. And if the holding at the bottom feels uncomfortable, you can always just increase the exhale. So to start, just close your eyes and just go inward a little bit. Lift through the crown of your head and maybe tuck your chin a little bit so that your neck is nice and long. And just notice the quality of your breath to begin with. And there's no judgment or right answer here. It just is what it is, depending on where you've come from, what you've been doing. And just notice your breath. Notice the quality of it. Anything that you smell as you inhale. Notice if it feels warm or cool. And relax your jaw. And so we're going to start this breath. We'll just do a few rounds of it to the count of 4. Really easy. 4, 4, 4, 4. So when you're ready, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top, retain, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause at the base, 2, 3, 4. Another round, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. So that's just 2 rounds. Let's stop for a moment. Close your eyes. Draw your attention to your third eye. Draw your gaze, your drishti to that third eye. And just notice if you feel any differently than you did before those 2 simple rounds of Samavriti. The next breath I'm going to teach you is bumblebee breath, named after a black bee in India. It's called Brahmari breath. And this is a good breath, I think, to do during a time of a lot of frenetic messiness, or during election season when you really want to create a nice sound in the inside of your head and sort of draw your senses inward. And it's really cool. You use your 5 fingers to either lessen your senses or close them off, depending on what you want to do. So you can start with, I'll tell you first that the thumbs are going to go in the ears, and how deeply they go into the ears is up to you. The deeper they go, the more inward you're going to go, and the louder your humming is going to be. You're going to hum like a bee. And then you're going to use your two peace fingers over your eyes, and they can be anywhere. Sometimes I put one above my eyebrow and one below my eyebrow, and I close my eyelids only partially. But you can use your fingers to close your eyelids entirely or softly. And then you're going to take your ring fingers and close off your nostrils, but only partially. So you're not closing out the world necessarily, unless you really need that. And then your pinky finger is going to tap into your mouth. And you can use it to press into your lips. But again, you're not closing everything off. You're simply gently sort of lessening the impact of external stimuli. And this is only 3 rounds, and it involves a hum for 3 seconds on the exhale. And your hum is going to be individual to you. It can be high, or it can be low, whatever you're in the mood for, or whatever you sing in a choir, or whatever's comfortable for you. So you're going to inhale. It's just 3 rounds of inhale and exhale with your fingers assisting your senses to close off a little bit and your thumbs drawn into your ears. So it's an inhale through your nose and then a closed-lipped hum. So we're just going to try 3 rounds of that, remembering that the peace fingers are somewhere around your eyes, whatever feels comfortable. Sometimes it doesn't feel good to press on the eyelids. This is why sometimes I have my eyes pressing into my eyebrows instead, and then sort of gently coaxing the eyelids closed so there's a soft gaze downwards. And then you have your ring fingers somewhere near your nostrils, closing those out partially, but you want to be able to exhale. And then your pinky is just reminding you that you don't need to talk, which is a relief. All right, so when you're ready, draw your thumbs into your ears so you won't be able to hear anything. You just know this is 3 rounds. Exhaling to the count of 3. And the deeper your thumbs go into your ears, the more you'll hear the hum resonate inside your head. And it should be a beautiful sound like a bell. So we're going to go like this. Inhale through the nose. When you're finished with that, drop your palms to your thighs, close your eyes, and just feel the resonance of that vibration inside your mind, inside your head. The beauty of that sound. The creation of a kind of inward harmony. The vibration sort of going through your teeth and your ears. And know that any time you feel like you need to go inside and create an alternate sound, an alternate universe, bumblebee breath is a good resource. Now I'm going to teach you Nadi Shodanon, which also involves the hand, and depends on whether you're right-handed or left-handed. And different people do it different ways. I like to take the peace fingers and place them on the third eye drishti, because I like to have a little pressure there, and it's a good meditative focus to create a gaze there. Helps you go inward. And then your thumb is going to go over, for me I'm right-handed, so it's going to go over my right nostril, and then these 2 fingers, the pinky finger will plug up the left nostril. So this is a cool breath for drawing breath into different different nostrils, some people say different sides of the brain, and it has an enormously calming effect. I used to do this in a yoga class that I attended in Chile, actually. We did 10 rounds, which the first time I did it felt really boring. And then I realized when we stopped what an intensely calming effect it had. So if you like this, you can also just curl those fingers down and just use your thumb and your pinky on your nostrils. You don't need to create this effect. And what we're going to do, one cycle is exhaling. I'm going to start on the left. Exhale and inhale on the left, and then exhale and inhale on the right. And that's one cycle. So we'll do 5 cycles, which means inhale and exhale on 2 sides. So we're just going to breathe normally for a moment. You may want to start to position your hand however you want it to be. In fact, you can just lay your thumb above one nostril and your pinky above another nostril and close your eyes. And then if you like the idea of the third eye drishti, feel free to use that. And the way we'll start this, we're just inhaling and exhaling normally. And then we're going to plug up the right nostril after an inhale and exhale on the left. Inhale on the left. Plug both nostrils and hold ever so briefly at the top, and then let your thumb go. Exhale, right nostril. Inhale, right nostril, and make adjustments if you're left-handed. And now exhale and inhale, left nostril. Exhale and inhale, right nostril. And so I've done 2 cycles of this, and you're going to continue at your own pace. What you might notice is that as you continue, the pace slows down a little bit. So now I've exhaled and inhaled on the left side, and I let my thumb go, exhale and inhale on the right side. And at the top of every inhale, I'm holding ever so briefly and plugging both nostrils, and then letting the next nostril go for the next exhale. So I'm in the midst of my 4th round, exhaling and inhaling on one side, plugging both nostrils, then letting the other nostril go. Exhale and inhale. And then wherever you are, I'm finishing up with my 5th round, exhaling, inhaling on one side, plugging both at the top ever so briefly, exhaling and inhaling on the other side. And then drop your hands, drop your gaze or drop your eyelids, and just notice how you feel. If you feel any differently than you did when we started. And sometimes if you have allergies or you have a cold, this is difficult to do. You can try blowing your nose before you start. And sometimes it makes things tickle or itch. Hopefully you feel cooled and grounded.